This is a boxing adjacent podcast, as we know. This is Balls, I believe, 189-ish. I don't know how many episodes it really is. I think this is the 189th official ep. We need to try and line up something large for 200, I think. I think for the bicentennial, I think we need to go big. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure how big, but within the sphere of influence and within the network, I'm sure we can get a name. We were so close to having Roy Jones Jr. for episode 100, but his PA assistant was an absolute and utter stroke. And I've still got his number on my phone, and I still just think he's an absolute nose, the geezer. Yeah. Anyway, anywho, this weekend had minimal, honestly. It had one DAZN card. I've seen highlights. I haven't even really watched the full card. Right. Edgar Berlanga was fighting Quigley. Okay, we've seen Quigley get banged out by Boo Boo Andrade. Edgar Berlanga, I'm very happy that he is back to what appears to be more like his ways, but I don't want to call him damaged goods because he's a young fighter and he's on the rebuild and he's had 2 bad injuries and he had so much hype behind him that I understand that the fall is always going to be just a fucking descent into darkness. But he's on the way up and he's aligned with Matchroom, and Matchroom seem to have a very clear plan for him. I have a lot of time for his attitude and I quite like his style, but I just think he just needs a little bit more seasoning. 21-0, dropping Quigley 4 times, but then still not finishing him. Again, this is incredibly rude as a criticism to say, because that may have been Quigley's, that may have been like peak Quigley for all I know. All I'm going to say is that Boo Boo stopped him big, easy.
Yeah.
Right? But Boo Boo is a different entity. He's something completely special, where we've not really, beyond the KO's early doors, we haven't really seen that with Edgar. But hey, good card-ish. Fun. It filled a little bit of a gap.
To be fair, the highlights that came off of it were actually quite decent for the fight.
There was a double knockdown. You don't get to see, like, honestly, I think there's probably been 4 of those that I can remember ever. And it wasn't a bad double knockdown. One of them took a knee.
Yeah.
And the other one ate shizer.
It was kind of like one and a half of a knockdown, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. But like a double knockdown is still quite a sight to behold. No joke whatsoever. Do you want to talk about the Heartbreak Kid? Because I think that you're poised.
I do. I was a big fan straight away when someone comes out as the Heartbreak Kid and then does a kick up in the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
Powerful. Because they're hard to do with your hands, by your head, let alone with boxing gloves on. And how much do you reckon he had to pay? Because that song actually is owned by the WWE, no? Yeah. It's it's made by WWE. So
yeah. I'm not going to lie. There was a point in the. Let's be very fair and say around 94, where the WWF then, now WWE boys, they were putting out tunes where you could buy a CD of. They still do it? Do they still release music?
They make their own music still. It's a different person now.
Right.
They fired the guy that made all the bangers, and they brought in a company, and then they got rid of that company. But I don't think they don't make hard copies anymore of anything. They don't do DVDs anymore. They don't do CDs or anything like that anymore.
Do you ever wonder what happens if the internet goes out?
Chaos. I'd be out of a job.
Everyone would be out. Nearly everyone would be out of a job, my friend. This is not. We're not on side quest right now. You're not old enough, wise enough, or even anywhere near that. But if the internet, if something happens catastrophic to the web, what are we going to do? No one has physical media anymore. At all. You're just going to have to sit there and deal with what you got on your phone already.
Vinyls are making a comeback.
Vinyl's been making a comeback forever. But also, if you're one of those people, like, hey, due to my makeup, should we say? Obviously, workaholism leads to very niche addictions, and I did get addicted to buying CDs. And when I've told you this. And when I say addicted to buying CDs, we're talking thousands, right? We're talking as in thousands of CDs, not thousands in pounds. It was way more, right? All I'm gonna say is that I wish that the WWF was still making absolute anthems, because I think that they need a comeback, and I think that you should maybe move that into your next realm with your wrestling to start making your own tunes.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Imagine the Southwest Stud as a wrestler, a graphic designer, and that's no longer the bedroom anymore. That's the Beat Lab.
Boxing
which you can also say to birds. Yeah, wait, ish. Producer. Yeah? Producer, content creator, wrestler, crow, whatevs. It's all huge.
Podcast personality.
International podcast personality, by the way. Premium content don, whatever.
Shout out.
The future is so bright.
So bright.
Other than that, I mean, this is going to be a fairly short balls, to be honest, because not that much was going on.
Adam, what's the heavyweight called? Adam Kanaki.
Yeah.
He lost for the fourth fight in a row.
Yeah, bothered. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who cares? Honestly, like, I don't even know. I don't understand why he gets press. I don't understand why it was popping up on socials. You know what? Whatever. Do what you want to do.
We forgot to put him on our heavyweight tier list.
Yeah, we didn't.
He could have been a friend of Otto Wallens at the bottom.
Ooh, anyone that has watched the heavyweight tier list, let us know what you think, because this is like a thing for some. I have no idea. It appeases the algo, and if it appeases the algo, then it appeases me, because I like the idea of making money from YouTube at some point. We were so close last time, and now it feels like a pipe dream again. It feels like it's just going to get rug pulled again, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen, we're going to finally monetize, right? We're going to make between 22 to 48 quid, right? And then we're going to get rug pulled on some absolute nothingness.
The account will just get taken down and that'll be it.
Yeah, exactly. All of our content will be gone forever. And then we'll have to start again on like Rockfin or Odyssey or BitChute. Rockfin's decent, boy. I used to be a member of Rockfin.
Star.
You are a Rockfin star. What did you enjoy? You enjoyed the Eddie interview afterwards, didn't you? After Edgar.
Well, he threw quite a few big names out there for future fights, and I think I saw somewhere that he had promised him who was it a fight with? I can't remember who it was a fight with, but they put like Triple G. I think he said it was Triple G, Billy Joe, and there were two other names he brought out for future fights.
Edgar and Billy Joe have been going back and forth anyway, but that's not hard, because I don't think it'd take that much to get Billy Joe going back and forth.
Yeah,
it's not the he's not exactly a known stoic. He shares how he feels immediately. Yeah, but Triple G he's relinquished his IBO, dude. The IBO has no mandatory. The IBO has nothing other than a sanctioning fee. So if you are going to relinquish your IBO belt, that says to me that you are probably heavily thinking about retiring. Yeah. Or you no longer want to tie down at 160. You want to give it back into the pool. All good. Well, I mean, like we're seeing Lyndon Arthur fight for the IBO. The IBO is a world title. It's three quarters of a world title, right? Okay. Like this like if your mate was the IBO world champion, you'd be buzzing. However, if I think Dan Aziz said it best. Well, it is a world championship. It is a title. It does count. It is a thing. Didn't Lerone Richards win that? He won that, didn't he?
No, Lerone won a European event, an international belt, I think it was.
I thought Lerone Richards won the IBO off of that mad Cuban or Latin dude?
Uh,
I'm pretty sure he won it and then he's giving it up.
I mean, Larone's been out, hasn't he, for ages?
Yeah, he had that bit of a rough time with all.
Yeah, after
Lyndon, September 1st, he's fighting for the IBO. Now, I really like that because Lyndon is the forgotten man of light heavyweight.
yeah,
He's lost once to Yard, but he beat Yard. So
what I do kind of think though, and I was going to do a crow cam of it, but I didn't have time.
Yeah.
Queensbury are going to be licking their lips at that because obviously Yard's just come off a loss with Beterbiev.
Mm-hmm.
If Arthur can get a world title, and then they set up Yard Arthur 3, which is a trilogy fight that everyone would buy, Yard then gets a world title, and then that springboards him to a Bivol or a Beterbiev fight again. Like, that's a good route for Queensbury, because that's 2 big fights they can sell then.
Yeah, they can, but it's a tough ask. And
I'm not saying Yard's definitely going to beat Arthur, I'm just saying in Queensbury's plan.
I mean, there is that, and it is a very shrewd move on Queensbury part if they were playing those games. But, like, Tunde's been talking about Yard going up to heavyweight. He ain't that big. Like, I've been next to the geezer. He's big, but he ain't that big. You know what I mean? Like, Beterbiev... Yeah, Beterbiev is considerably bigger than him. Boy, how big is Callum Smith? Like, Beterbiev is listed at 6'1", maybe have a little G of that one. He's very big, is Beterbiev. That's a big 6'1", that. He's like Jesse's size. Maybe bigger than Jesse.
Well, it says on BoxRec 5'11" and a half.
Yeah, fuck off, he ain't 5'11" and a half, the geezer. We're definitely through the window now, right? He's no way 5'11" and a half.
It says Callum Smith 6'3".
Yeah, I mean that again. I think he's bigger than that anyway.
Callum Smith's very long, isn't he?
Very long indeed. Very briefly before we wrap this up, Canelo has signed with PBC, which $100 million deal because he obviously was a bit strapped for cash anyway. The boy, shout out probably the second most successful genre of all time. No, Ed Sheeran's got to be number one. Ed Sheeran has done it against the odds, where at least Canelo has epic athletic abilities and talent. Ed, you know, it's whatever.
Rude.
He's clearly got a lot of talent as Ed, and we like that, and we like Ed, but whatever.
Rude.
It's a little bit rude. I give you that, but also I stand by it. What was it? There was nothing else really, was there? The fights that PBC can do for Canelo, right? They're going to try and do Benavidez. Cool. They'll try and do Charlo. Cool. They sell. They're good. It's fine.
I thought he wanted a rematch with Bivol. I thought that was all he wanted.
Yeah, but I think Bivol's lot were like... I think they probably tried to do Canelo things. They tried to probably negotiate too heavy, and Bivol just went, nah.
It's a big loss for Eddie and DAZN, though, isn't it?
Well, no, it's only a 3-fight deal, and I would imagine that Eddie's old enough, wise enough, and close enough with Canelo, because he's probably just said, I can't give you 100 mil for 3 fights. DAZN have paid out the arse for you already. There is no one... You have to remember as well, is that Eddie can't make those fights with PBC, because PBC won't work with him. So, if Canelo's going to do that, he's only ever going to increase his market value. Therefore, when he does come back to Matchroom and DAZN, his market value goes up anyway. So it's kind of a win-win. Ooh, you know what I did like? And I will say this now. I enjoyed heavily Eddie referring to Ben Whittaker as a future Matchroom signing the other day. That was so spice, wasn't it? Like, he's literally... It's true. Like, it's in an interview with someone as well. I think he was being interviewed like by Sky or something. Yeah. And he was just like, future Matchroom signing. Ben Whittaker. I mean,
it does feel like some of the guys there, like Fraser and Ben Whittaker and all of that, are just going to hop over when they can. Because Eddie and AJ are like that, and obviously AJ's the manager of them. Like, Shannon Ryan's already gone over.
Yep, it's a matter of time, dude. It's honestly a matter of time, and it's a very smart move for Matchroom. It's a very smart move for DAZN, and it's a very smart move from Eddie, because all you do is you let other people put all of the cash into marketing them, and then you just hoover.
It's almost like they're using Boxer as like a feeder system or like an academy.
It's power,
like you have the youngsters, and then when they get up to like past British level, we'll take them off your hands.
Absolute power. So with the Sammy J, there's nothing going on this weekend either, is there?
Yeah, there's
there's the Savannah card and Dalton Smith. And
there's Dalton Smith's card.
Right, the Dalton Smith card is probably going to be the one that I watch, because we're not going to stream. Jesse's busy. I'm not going to assemble the special needs Avengers because I just can't be bothered, honestly.
Special needs Avengers.
Yeah. I'm just going to sit there. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to watch it on telly, and I'm just.
Do you want to
what?
Do you want me to run down the card?
Yeah, go for it.
So we've got Dalton Smith versus Sam Maxwell for the British and for the Commonwealth title.
That's a really good fight, you know.
Which is really good fight. Are they both undefeated?
Sam Maxwell really does remind me of Kid Cudi. Just saying.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Pat McCormack's fighting on it.
Yep.
He's
fine.
One of the Olympic boys. Hopey Price is fighting on it.
Brilliant to watch Hopey Price.
10-0 fighter.
Yep.
Lewis Sylvester's fighting on it, who's 11-0 fighter, fighting Adam Cope, who's a 7-0 fighter.
Sick.
Then you got Junaid Boston fighting on it, who's had 5 wins, 5 knockouts, versus Ryan Amos, who's 10-0-1. So that's another undefeated
It's a bit of a roll of the dice, that one.
But I think Junaid's open to the challenge. 5 wins, 5 knockouts. Why not?
Who's on the Sky card? So we've got Sav.
One second. Nico's on the Dalton Smith card as well.
Is he?
Yeah.
Mr. LeVar. Fucking love Nico. He's another one who I feel needs to. You know what? I would like for Nico to get nicked by Boxer, because if they nicked him, they would pump him up, and then Eddie would just nick him after. He would just wait for him to be just built up a little bit more. Off it goes. Who else is on the? Who's on the Sky card?
God, a Sky card's a really small card. You got Ben Whittaker fighting on it.
Bothered.
Then you got Natasha Jonas fighting on it.
Oh yeah, that's for a different world. That's for a 147 title. Isn't it?
That's for the IBF World Welter title.
Yeah, 147.
Zach Chelly's.
She's going for her second weight world championship. Then.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Zach Chelly's the co-main fighting Mark Jeffers, who's 15-0.
Okay.
So that's a good little fight. And then you got the main event.
Zach Chelly really does give value. He really always just goes.
100%.
He's so aggy.
After was it the Fight Camp card where he got screwed?
Yeah.
So the Fight Camp card, he got screwed, and ever since that, every fight he has, he doesn't want it to go to points.
He just
you can see
wants to take someone's head off, doesn't he?
I saw. I can't remember whose fight it was. It must have been like 2-3 fights ago. He was comfortably winning on points, and then last round he just comes out like all guns blazing, like he just lost 5 rounds in a row.
It was the super handsome, suave, like he looked like a Motown singer. I can't remember what his name was. Yeah, he was an absolute G, that geezer. I love him.
The Anthony Sims fight? Was that
Anthony Sims? That's who
that was the one.
Fucking love Anthony Sims. He's like, his hair, everything about him, immense. He looked like a young Marvin Gaye, but could just fight. And to be fair, there was flashes of Anthony Sims looking like Anthony Sims. He's one of them ones that maybe will never fulfill his potential, but sometimes that happens.
And then we got the main event.
That's okay.
Sav versus Franco Cruz. I think it's Franco Cruz.
And that's at 168, isn't it?
Super middle.
Yeah, 168.
Yeah.
See, that just shows you the sheer size of Sav.
Oh, 100%.
Sav's a big girl.
Is this her first fight back since the Shields fight?
Yeah. It certainly is. She'll be fun. She'll be fun. I reckon she bangs her out.
Yeah.
I reckon 168 is probably quite a good thing for her. I mean, she is big. She might even fill out a little bit more. She may even have more power. She may have more in the tank. Who knows? Blancs, bro.
She's there to avenge the loss, isn't she, as well?
Yes, she is. Right. Patreon.com Fighting Words. Shout out X-Brain. Promo code Fighting Words saves you 20% at checkout. Thank you very much. And as always, support is brought to us by our boys at Market Squawk, powered by livesquawk.co.uk. Blessings, love, and light. Tier list coming up now.